I want to ask you, who inspires you? Who inspires you? What inspires you? Have you ever sat down to think about that? I think it's something important we think about when we're on a growth journey, when we're trying to be intentional about growth, because there's a content well that I've noticed over the last probably decade and a half. And that content well is here inside of you. It's being filled up by what you're consuming. And it's being carried with you when you go to impact others. So I just want to take a little bit of our conversation today to talk about how do we fill up our content well, and then how do we carry it with us? And I'll give you a few practical examples. So your content well, what's important to understand about the content well is that what comes out is based on what you put in it. You're not going to magically just know something. So you've got to consistently be putting new things into the content well, and how we do that is in the books that we read. Now, in many cases, you might not enjoy reading, so it might be podcasts for you or certain type of content that you're watching on different platforms. I get it. I'm going to encourage you to add some books into your content rhythm. If you are serious about growing, one of the things you'll hear me say often is I believe the secret to leading is reading. It really changed my life, and I was not a reader at all. But anyway, in putting in to your content well, it'll be the books. So what's your favorite book? What's your favorite book you've read this year? All time. What's your favorite book? I'll tell you my favorite book. My favorite book is right here. Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. There are a lot of books that made impressions over me during my growth journey, but this is probably the biggest. In fact, when I would work with a new person, I would always say the beginning step is to read this book. It is a comprehensive guide of kicking off your leadership. So if you're new to leading, grab this book, Developing the Leader Within You. Or you can grab the updated version, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. If you've just decided to make a commitment to your growth journey, grab this book. If you've already read the book, but it's been a while, it's collected some dust on your shelf, I recommend go pulling it off, dusting it off, and jump into it before we get into next year, because this is going to fill your content well. Now, if you hang out on this channel for the next 364 days, you're going to get a lot of book recommendations. I love to recommend books. Many of you may already know what I do. Some of you don't. I think I briefly mentioned it in the last video, but I get to work all around the country with new leaders who've been doing it for a while, small business owners, all individuals who are looking to level up their growth inside of their organizations. And I get to work with them to encourage them and to challenge them and taking that growth to the next level. And one of the ways that I do that is recommending great books. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to fill your content well. Your output is going to be determined by your input. So once you fill it up, let's say that, we'll take one of those leaders for example. Let's say that I'm working with them frequently and they're reading and they're learning and they're growing. How are they going to carry that with them? How does the content then just come out? Some people say, well, Reese, I don't retain well. I don't take in a whole lot of what I'm reading. And what I would tell you is you probably take in more than you think you're taking in. I know that from personal experience. It'll be months or maybe years after I write a book, and then something will just be recalled to my mind from that book, deep from within my content well. But one way I think you could carry the information with you is quotes from the things that you read, quotes from the authors that inspire you. In fact, my favorite quote is from John Maxwell. Here's the quote. A leader is one who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. That's bottled up inspiration that's in my content well. Because it reminds me at times when I feel like I just want to take a shortcut. This is going to take too long. But no. A leader is one who goes the way. Or when I feel like I'm figuring something out and I'm lost in the forest, I've got to remind myself I'm doing this because a leader is the one who knows the way. You've got to go down a way to figure out if it's the way before you can lead people through to that way. So it's just a way that I bottle it up and inspire myself with great quotes. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. I'm going to encourage you to go find 3 quotes. 3 quotes to memorize. You might already have 3. Find 3 new ones. Find 3 quotes to memorize so that you can bottle up that inspiration and use it along your growth journey. I hope that helped you today. I'm so looking forward to hearing what your favorite quote is. You can post it in the comment below. If you want to come along this journey, we're going all year, 365 days together. We'd love to have you come along. I'll see you tomorrow.